tell you that there was an exchange of gunfire between individuals and that 2 firearms were recovered. This time I'll say that there's about 3 crime scenes, so areas that have been cordoned off that will be more carefully examined than essentially the generality of St. Clair. As to the number of suspects outstanding, I don't have that information available to share as yet. We'll certainly share that as the investigation unfolds. But an active shooter is something that we put out because we weren't sure in the initial few moments. But as I said, investigators are piecing it all together. This is a very chaotic scene.
A deadly shooting has shattered one of Toronto's biggest cultural celebrations. Police say 6 people were shot near the Salsa on St. Clair festival, leaving 2 victims dead and 4 others injured in a shocking outbreak of violence that sent crowds scrambling for safety.
Difficult to say with certainty what precipitated this. I can tell you that there was an exchange of gunfire between individuals and that 2 firearms were recovered. But as I said, investigators are piecing it all together. This is a very chaotic scene. I think we had something in the neighborhood of 13,000 people participating in this festival, so it's crowded. I mean, just the brazen, despicable quality of this exchange here, the amount of danger to the members of the public, as the mayor commented, is just so unacceptable. And there may be more than, there's obviously several suspects, so we're going to put it all together.
So there have been no arrests?
There have been no arrests at this time in relation to this incident.
The incident unfolded in Midtown Toronto, near the intersection of St. Clair Avenue West and Arlington Avenue, where thousands had gathered for the annual Latin Cultural Festival known as Salsa on St. Clair. What began as a day of music, food, and celebration quickly turned into an active police emergency. According to Toronto police, officers responded after reports of gunfire and found 6 people suffering from gunshot wounds.
At this time, I'll say that there's about 3 crime scenes, so areas that have been cordoned off that will be more carefully examined than essentially the generality of St. Clair. As to the number of suspects outstanding, I don't have that information available to share as yet. We'll certainly share that as the investigation unfolds.
2 of those victims were pronounced dead at the scene. The conditions of the remaining 4 victims were not immediately known. As the investigation unfolded, Toronto police issued an emergency alert on X, warning the public about an active shooter situation and urging people to stay away from the area.
And I urge people that have footage or have some information to call the police and let them know their information.
The alert triggered a massive emergency response as heavily armed officers rushed to secure the scene. Later, police announced that the immediate area had been secured. However, investigators warned that the suspects had not been apprehended, meaning the investigation remained very much active. A large police presence continued to surround the festival area as detectives worked to piece together exactly what happened and search for those responsible. Toronto Police Deputy Chief Frank Barreto addressed reporters from the command post established near the scene, providing updates as investigators continued gathering evidence. Authorities have not yet released the identities of the victims or disclosed a possible motive behind the shooting. According to CTV News, the gunfire erupted near the Salsa on St. Clair festival, one of Toronto's best-known annual celebrations of Latin culture, drawing large crowds with live music, dance performances, and community events. The sudden violence transformed what should have been a joyful gathering into a chaotic crime scene. Festival-goers who had come to celebrate instead witnessed emergency vehicles, police tape, and a massive law enforcement operation. Investigators spent hours combing the area for evidence, while officers maintained a heavy security presence around the festival grounds. The search for the suspect or suspects continues. The shooting has also shocked many residents because incidents of this scale are highly unusual in Toronto. Authorities are continuing to investigate exactly how the shooting unfolded, what led to the violence, and whether additional suspects may have been involved.
I urge people that have footage or have some information to call the police and let them know their information.